G'day folks, it's Rob here. Just a quick clip to let you know there won't be a big clip this week. I've just been absolutely flat out looking after some root pouch customers. Had a bit of a sale on over the last couple of weeks and it went smashingly well, especially the last couple of days. So I've been flat out just looking after that and answering questions for folks. I am working on a longer clip though. It's looking at another aquaponic system build. I've done a lot of the artwork for it. I just need to do a few more. I'm actually going to be speaking to Matthew this weekend, hopefully, fingers crossed, just to get a bit more detail from him. So yeah, hopefully that one will be ready to go next weekend. But I did find something down the back here while I was watering the plants yesterday that I thought might interest a few of you folks out there. Sorry if it's a bit blustery folks, but what we have here is our wicking barrel full of turmeric. And as you can see, she has exploded in flowers. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think there's more. I think there's around about 10 all up. A couple of nice ones there and a few more over the back there. And this thing has just done spectacularly well. This is the yellow variety. It's a little bit bitter, we found, compared with the orange variety we like to use fresh in meals. So this plant here, we've actually got plans to use it as a chop and drop border plant around the chicken pen, which, yes, because of the renovations, still hasn't been built, but it will be planted out along one of the side fences, and we'll just chop the green down and use it as a bit of a mulch. All those little black things are our native bees. I'm standing right in their path, poor little fellas. So yeah, it's this plant, while we're not going to be using it as a culinary plant, we're going to be using it as a bit of an ornamental and functional chop and drop, and take advantage of these flowers when they pop. So I think they're going to make a nice display along a fence line. So pretty chuffed about that. And while we're down here, I thought I'd just give you a look at the coffee. So this coffee just keeps astounding me. It keeps on putting this spectacular new growth on while it's fully laden with cherries or berries. So we're really stoked with how well this plant's gone. One thing we have noticed, though, Bianca pointed out some of these little cherries are starting to wither up in there, and this branch down here has a number that have died off prematurely as well, and I noticed this branch has a few more. So I'm fairly sure it's not necessarily a lack of water, because I've been around here at least every second day to top up the tray. It's actually a root pouch sitting in just a tray of water, and it wicks up slowly over 2 or 3 days. I come back every second day and the soil in there is still moist, so it could probably go for 3 or 4. So I don't think it's a water issue. The only thing I can think of is it may be some sort of nutrient, maybe a little bit more phosphorus or potassium in there, just to help with the fruit itself. So that's one thing I should probably do. All the plants around the patch could do with a little bit of a feed. I think I've actually skipped a month and a half's worth of feed, so I might get to that this weekend. One more thing I'll just show you quickly to do with the house. Just a quick look at the aquaponics before we head up to the house. As you can see, the hoe and knock is booming. It's growing faster than we can eat it. We've got some Okinawan spinach poking through down there. The thyme's doing well. The Brazilian spinach is doing well. Some of the brahmi over here is dying off on one side, but it's looking okay on the other. The mushroom herb's absolutely flogging it along. It's a subtropical plant from New Guinea, Papua New Guinea, so it does like the heat. And the other plants over there are looking all right too. That Egyptian spinach will need to be pruned soon. One thing I didn't mention in my last clip is that our builders, like a lot of builders in this area, have January off because it's the hottest month. And they came back on Tuesday, which coincidentally was the same day they connected power to the house again. So they now have power on the house, and they've got a couple of power points in the power box over there. So this week they haven't done a lot of earthworks as such because we needed some more engineering done. We're just changing the way the retaining wall next to the house here is being done, and it had to be certified by some engineers. But underneath the house they've done a little bit of work. So through the week the builders have been busy putting up these bearers. Well, at first they had to make them just out of some C-channel and some other welded bits and pieces. So we have this one here that is looking after the doorway that is going out next to the stairwell towards Pauline's side, and then we have a couple of bearers that run the full length of the house. This first one because there's only one stump in the middle, and the second one is because the old laundry wall was holding up this section, so they've just decided to run it all the way through. Having it run all the way through like that's going to make the house a lot more stable, so we're pretty pleased with that. And on this end one here, this one here will be taking the load from the new extension that will be going on out the back. So that's pretty much all what they got up to this week. So as I said, they only got back here on Tuesday, so they haven't had a lot of time to do the work this week. Plus there's a hold up with the C channel to make the bearers. They have done a little bit of tidying up around out the back here too, which is good, and they're starting to clear out down along that side there for the paths. So yeah, a little bit of progress on the house this week. Hopefully there'll be more to report next weekend. So there you go, folks. There's a little bit of a weekly roundup on the turmeric and the coffee down the back, and also a couple of the jobs they knocked off here with the house. There is a clip coming for you supporters out there. I know I've been a little bit busy this week. Had the root pouch sale, and it just, absolutely flat out. So thank you to everyone who supported us through the sale, and you can actually check out what we sell up in that little link up in there. Also too, a huge thanks to all the supporters on Patreon and on the YouTube membership area. Thank you very much, folks. Thanks for bearing with us while we've got this downtime. Sorry, just had to change arms. That one was getting a little bit tired. If you could also too check out our super contributors from Patreon down in the description below. I'd really appreciate that. Show them some love. But I will pretty much all wrap it up there. I do hope you've had an absolutely awesome week and your own gardens and aquaponics are booming. And I'll catch you next clip. Cheers, folks. Have a top one. Another issue you have with the pump in the fish tank is all those solids run through the pump, get broken down into finer solids before they make it out into the filter, making it harder for them to remove from the water column.